Hey everyone, this is our literacy lesson for this week. We are still going to continue to learn about poetry and a new type of poem this week, but I also want to remind you that it's Mother's Day. So, with Mother's Day coming up on Sunday, I thought what we could do is combine our poetry with making a card for Mom for Mother's Day. Because we might not be able to get out to the stores, and so making her something special might be really nice to give her. Okay, and I also combined it with a little bit of art. We learned about self portraits earlier on this year, but I attached a video about drawing self portraits so it could remind you about the spacing of facial features and how far down to draw eyes and the nose and the ears and all those pieces. So make sure you watch that video before you watch this video. And if you can either ask Mom to be a live model for you while you draw her, or you could find a picture of her and use that as well. And since my mom does not live with me, I used a photograph of her to draw this picture. Okay, so the very first job you'll do is watch the video on portrait drawing, and then you will get a piece of paper and draw your very best portrait of Mom. I have taped this to the front of my card, and I decorated it, and I wrote Mom in some fancy letters on the front of my card. Okay, so once you get that done, then you can move on to the next step. So inside the card is where I'm going to put my poem about Mom and my message to Mom. Okay? So first of all, I'm actually going to turn my card this way now. And I'm going to do my poem on this side and my message to Mom on this side. And so my message to Mom was simply Happy Mother's Day, because I'm going to be doing most of my writing in my poem. So I wrote a little message that I could tape in, or you can glue in and put on this side of the page. And you'll see it says, "To Mom, Happy Mother's Day, love Mel," because that's my name. And then hugs and kisses along the bottom. And I'll be able to mail this out to her later today. And so on this side, I'm going to do my poem. Last week, you learned about acrostic poems, where you wrote the letters vertically up and down and then wrote something about that topic, whatever you wrote about, had to start with the first letter. So if you want, you actually could do an acrostic poem today. So let's say my mom's name is Michelle, so I could actually write Michelle and then write something about her that starts with each of those letters. So if you'd like to do an acrostic poem, you're welcome to. Today I'm going to teach you about a concrete poem or a shape poem. So they're called both of those things. And I also included a few different examples of what kids have done on the learning screen, okay? But I decided today that I found this pink piece of paper, and I decided that since my mom loves flowers, my shape that I'm going to write my message to my mom in will be a rose, which is a little bit tricky. So if you want to do a heart, you can do something like that, which might be a little bit more simple. Or if you would like to do something that's like in the shape of your mom's favorite food, maybe an ice cream cone or something, you're welcome to do that. So you pick any shape you want that you think your mom would like. And since my mom loves roses, that's what I'm going to make my shape poem in the shape of. Now, it's really important when you draw your shape, your outline of your shape that you're going to write in, that you draw it big enough that's going to fit the words that you write in there. Otherwise, it could get really frustrating to try and fit all your words in. So, I'm going to try and make it almost as big as this sheet of paper. Okay, so I'm going to draw my rose top there. And my stem is going to be quite thick, so like I said, it can fit my writing. These are the thorns coming up. So it's quite a simple shape. You don't want a lot of detail. And so once you've got that done, I'm going to move this down here so that I can do my writing up here and you can kind of see that a little bit better. So there's my rose. Now with a concrete or a shape poem, what you want to do is actually write your poem or your message in that shape. Okay, so you're going to have to turn the paper around a little bit. So I think what I'm going to do is write all the things that I love about my mom, maybe in this rose, and then I might thank her for some things down here. And so up here, I'm going to start in this top corner so she knows where to start reading from. And then your mom might have to turn the card as she reads it. So I'm going to start right here and I'm going to write, Dear Mom, thank you for always helping me, exclamation mark. I know that's pretty small. I'll hold this up to show you at the very end. I always, I'm kind of writing in the shape of the rose, love our chats on the phone. Uh-oh, my pen's running out because I'm writing up top. Okay, on the phone. And I hope you, I'm running out of space, have a great day. Okay, so that's a bit tricky. So you'll see that when my mom gets this card, she's going to have to start, Dear Mom, and she's going to have to turn it this way. Thank you for always helping me. And she's going to have to turn it to read it. Okay? And then down here, I think I'm going to write words that describe my mom. So I'm going to say, Mom, you are, oh, my pen's dying again. So funny, silly, kind, generous, beautiful. Think of all the great things that your mom does. Hardworking, and I love when you bake me. My mom loves to bake, so I love when she brings her baking over. Cupcakes. And there we go. And so what I'm going to do with that poem now is actually cut around my rose. As close to the outline as I can, but not quite on it, because I want people to see the outline of my rose. So I don't actually want to cut right on these lines. I want to cut just a little bit away from those lines. Okay, and then I'm going to take that right in my card on this side for her to read her poem. And then if you want, you can decorate all around the outside of your card. To make it even more colorful. Okay, so boys and girls, here's my finished Mother's Day card. You'll see on the front I've got Mom and the portrait that I drew of her, and then on the inside I've got my shape poem where I've written all about my mom inside of there, and then over here I've written a nice message to her. Okay, so have fun with this. And like I said, if this is frustrating for you to write in, and you don't have to write this many words, you could just write a couple of words up the stem or a couple of words around the petals. Or you could do something a little bit more simple like a heart, like I said. But if you don't want to do this type of poem, the shape poem, then maybe you could do the acrostic poem that we learned about last week. Okay, so have fun and remember to be really kind to your mom. Not only on Mother's Day, but every day. And boys and girls, I also just want to say that thank you so much for being such a wonderful group of people to me this year. I will miss you so much. And no worries, I will see you soon, and I will pop into one of your Google Meets once I have this baby come out, and I will show him to you, and we will be able to see each other in hopefully a few weeks, okay? So take care and have fun.